it's Judy here, and welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons, where in today's video, we're going to continue working on our sunken waterfall areas. So, in the last episode, we began terraforming it, and I really love this view that we came out with. You can see there's this pond at the bottom, the water is sparkling, the two little streams at the back. I think it looks really lovely. And of course, we have the bridge up here. And then we've also terraformed the front area with the river mount there as well. And if you want to see all of that and how we got to this point, I will have a link to that video in the top right corner if you want to check that out. Now today I want to start adding some furniture, some plants, some life to this area. So something I really want to emphasize with this build is I want it to kind of have taller objects to the side, and then they get shorter and shorter towards the bridge. And this just creates an effect that leads your eye to the center where the view is, because this is really the main point of all of this. Now also, as I mentioned in the last episode, I was thinking about putting Eunice's house over here and then having like a little reading area for her on this side. So that way she can read stories while looking out Ring Fit Adventure. Oh no, we're not exercising right now. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. Of course, I never miss my alarms to exercise. Exercise is just so important. I do it every day. That's kind of hard to say with a straight face. Now to create the effect I'm going for, I think I'll put a tree right here. So let's put down a pine tree right in that corner there. And just adding that object there has already created a line which draws your eye to the center of the build. Now I think it's really cozy to have houses next to trees, items next to trees, little picnic blankets under trees, and since this is going to be a reading area, I think it would make sense for us to have a little library right next to the tree. Now when I first decided I wanted to make a reading nook here, I really didn't know how to go about it. Like, I didn't know if I should put entire bookshelves outside and sofas, because I wanted it to be cozy, but it doesn't make much sense to have those items outside. Like, if I did that, it would just kind of seem like I'm making an indoor space outside, like a patio area. And while patio areas are lovely, that's not what I was trying to do. I wanted it to be in the woods more. But that's when I remembered we have these tiny library items, which I thought was just perfect for this build. Then right next to it, to kind of solidify the space and create a border around the edge, because you certainly don't want to slip down there, I'm just going to place this bush and then a fence as well. And I'm going to be using country fencing for this because I really love the wooded texture of it. So just plop that there. And that's created a brown dotted line going from the tree trunk to the fence to the bridge. Next, I'm going to plant some cosmos because these are personally my favorite flower in the game. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite flower is. And right next to that, I'm going to plant some green pumpkins, which are just a little bit shorter, but they fill in the space a bit better than weeds do, so I like them. And you can see, now we have a dotted line of green going from the tree to the bush to the pumpkins. So I've essentially created a checkered line that leads you to the center. Now I'm going to start adding some pathing. So right by the bridge, I think we can make a little circle of dirt. And I'll have the code to this custom design on the screen here if you'd like to download it too. I'll also put a link to the creator in the description because they've made so many beautiful designs. Now another thing that I try to be more careful about in my designs now is making the paths too cohesive. Like, I want to make this a natural area, so I don't want the dirt path to be perfect. I want it to fade away in parts and then come back in others. Did not mean to open up the portal though, here we go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create this kind of lopsided shape. And then rather than connecting the dirt paths, I'm just going to place one little stone pathway right here connecting them. Just like that. Now I like to use colors in groups of 3. So I have a stone there, a stone here, and I want to put one more stone here, I believe. But rather than making it flat again, I'm going to use an item from the game that matches the pathway. So I figured if I place a little stone stool here, it adds a little bit of height to this side without ruining the effect of the back border. And it also brings in that stone texture, so really like that. And then I'm just going to plant some mums here. They're a really nice flower to fill in the space a bit more. And then just to show that this place is being used and villagers are coming here to get books, I'm going to place one book on the ground in front of the library, like somebody was looking at it and they set it down and they have yet to return. Then I don't really like this open edge here, so I'm going to place one more bush. Bushes are definitely something I like to use to make this space a bit more solid. So by placing this, I'm showing that this is the edge and this is where it ends. To further emphasize that this is the edge of the cliff, I want to place fencing here, but I don't think it looks as cute like that, so I'm just going to place it to the front. It does the same thing. Basically, this would be like the railing so that you do not end up like Gulliver. Now, I think that these two bushes kind of look like a pair, and I want to break them up. Well, not break them up, I mean they can live the happy life together if they want to. But what I mean is I still want to make groups of 3, so I want to place another bush here, but I think that it would be a bit boring as well to just bush, bush, bush. It's kind of like the stone, stone, stone. Like I want 3, but I want to mix it up a bit. So rather than placing another bush here, I'm going to place a half-grown tree. So here you can see I have a medium young apple tree. I'm going to place that, and it kind of looks like it's part of the bush group. And it makes the bush group look more complete without adding another bush. And in order to keep this tree at this age so that it doesn't grow up, I'm just going to sneakily erase one little bit of the path back here and place one of these like young nursery trees. Just like that. So it's kind of like, you know, you don't see it, but it'll freeze the tree in that state, and I think it looks really nice. Then next to it, we'll place one more flower. Let's do a lily this time. And that's kind of the back half done, so as you can see it's nice and foresty and natural, so let's go ahead and move on to the front. Now, I'm actually going to make this like a split path, so I have this rock here that goes diagonally this way, so I'm going to place another diagonal rock going in the opposite direction, so it kind of guides you around the tree in the center. Just like that. Then I'm going to place another dirt patch here. And to emphasize the cliff edge, a couple of fences. I'm not going to fill in these fences totally. I'll just put one fence right here and one more fence here. Oh, I can't do it there. Okay, we'll put it there. Then in that space where I can't place a fence, I'll just plant a little mum, my favorite filler flower. And to keep up some form of pattern, I guess we'll plant a little Cosmo next to this one. Now the next set of pairs we have is the 2 trees, and in order to complete them, I'm just going to plant one more tree here, and I'm going to make it a large young cedar. So this is not a fully grown cedar tree because I don't want it to cover all of this. I just want it to be exactly tall enough so that you can still see the little border here. And then right behind it, we'll plant another sapling, just to freeze its growth. Since the ocean is just around the corner and you can even hear the waterfall sounds from here, I feel like it would be quite a relaxing place to take a little nap, so I'm going to go ahead and place a hammock right here, which will also kind of fill in the space on the side. I suppose you could push it over to the edge, or you could keep it right there. Both ways look alright. I'm going to push it over though. I really wish I had the hammock recipe though. Like, I got the white one from Nook's Cranny and I feel like it looks the most natural, like it's not pink or blue or anything. But I did want the one that has wood on the sides, and I just couldn't find the recipe in time, but one day I might exchange this with the more natural looking one. And finally, I was going to place one more bush here, but now that I think about it, it might be better to place the bush here, almost like a headboard for the hammock. And then plant the other flower I wanted to use over here. No, that's way too many flowers in the corner. I feel like I made the right call with the bush. Also, you can't even see the bush behind the hammock, so it's kind of pointless. So we'll put the flower there and the bush here. And finally, I'm going to place a chair where you can sit down as you're reading, and I'm going to place that right by the library here. So it's nice and easy for you to just grab a book and sit down and start reading it while enjoying the view. And that's all for this side of the bridge. So we've added a bunch of life, a bunch of vegetation to the cliffs. I think when we have everything back here decorated, it's going to look so lovely. When you scroll the camera up, you'll be able to see some more cliffs in the background. There'll be mountains and flowers and bushes and trees. And I'm super excited to see the way that it turns out in the end. If you'd also like to see the way that this area progresses, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our journey as we continue developing Seychelles together. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you'll have a lovely rest of your day. Remember to stay hydrated, and I will see you all soon. Bye everybody!